Like this is kind of a capitalism dream, if that makes sense. Like work conditions are, depending on the place, sometimes very much not great at all. Like I would say, as far as animation industry comes, like Japan is definitely one of the harshest industry in the world. Again, when it comes to animation, for sure. France and US have their demerit, but in comparison, yeah, definitely Japan is the harshest for sure. Although what I will say, to kind of like counteract what I just said, is that in Japan, what's crazy is the difference between like the lowest paid employee and the highest paid employee, if that makes sense. Because like what we call here shinjin, which are like, you know, new workers, if that makes sense, people who just graduated, people who just started working, they are usually the most in the worst situation, if that makes sense. Pay is very low when you start working. Most of the time you don't go directly into doing what I do, which is Genga. Most of the time you go the Doga route, which is kind of an assistant of sort, if you compare it to the American system. And this is like very poorly paid job. But in contrast to that, you have people who are more privileged, who have sometimes more experience, who have sometimes more luck. I am such people who are paid a very decent rate. Even in some case, and in my case, I am paid more than I was in France. I mean, of course, France also has amenities, which still makes it a bit better. But like in terms of like paid job, I myself am part of like the privileged class who are paid fairly decently well. But yes, in Japan, the harshest thing is that when you start, it's a nightmare. Most people stop or cannot continue. It is very difficult to be able to survive until you have, you know, a significant enough name or enough experience to be asking for more money, if that makes sense. I mean, every topics needs, of course, nuance. I would say that there is people who live very well in the anime industry, but there are people who are like at slave level, who have like crazy work conditions, who literally cannot go home because like it costs money to take the train, if that makes sense. So they stay at the studio all the time because they don't go home, they can't wash. This is a real story, by the way. Like this is literally one of my friends. Like cannot go home because it costs money, so doesn't wash, so like starts smelling like crazy, sleep under their desk, can barely afford to eat, and it's like if they don't do enough work, they don't get enough money to live in that condition. So it's absolutely, the thing I have seen are crazy. But at the same time, you know, like some people can manage and some people like very well in this industry. So of course, nuance is important, but I've never seen this level of poverty. Yeah, I've never seen this level of poverty in an animation industry, that's for sure. Like, I mean, one of the main differences is that in America and France you get paid for the month, for the day, like you just have to work like this amount of hours every day and you're good. In Japan it's a amount of cut you do. So if like they tell you, oh, you have to do like this 20 cuts in 1 month, you have to get this done no matter what, which means some people don't sleep, some people don't eat. I mean, I'm sure you've read the thing. Yeah, because it's like, if you think about it, if you don't get your cut done, you don't get money. You know, it's not about the amount of hours you work, it's about the amount of cut you get done. So like to get the money, you have to get absolutely the cut done. And so, you know, like people end up like spending a lot of hours. Again, because I know some of my colleagues have been getting angry at people going like, oh, the conditions are so bad. Yes, there are people who live well, but let's be honest, most people who start, most people who want to get into animating before they are able to get a decent pay go through like insanely bad work conditions, if that makes sense. And that's if you manage to get to a good animation level, then you can get well paid. But again, some people are so overworked, they don't even have like the time to get better, if that makes sense. And even if you get better at actual drawing, speed is so important. And if you're someone who takes time, you're genuinely at such a disadvantage. It can be very hard.